Sean Myers now joined by the new athletic director at Jeannette, Adrian, a longtime boys basketball coach as well. First off, congratulations. What stood out about athletic director that really interests you?
Well, first, thank you very much for having me. And the thing that stood out was, I really wasn't sure that I could be the AD. I always thought that it was a separate position. I don't think a coach could ever be the AD and be a coach. So once I knew that, I was very intrigued by it. I was, when I got hired, in the process, I said I was normally in charge of 15 to 18 kids. Now I'm in charge of every kid that walks the halls of Jeannette High School. Athletes, I should say.
How do you think your experience as a basketball coach for a dozen years at the helm and 3 years even prior to that as an assistant, how will that experience benefit you in this new position?
Well, I've been around a long time in that building, so it should definitely help me with that. But just, understanding things, as my background in sales, I obviously have to be very organized on what you do. There's a lot of things that lead to big things that I'm learning. So just being around and the years of experience with the kids, I think those things will help me big time.
There's been several different ADs at Jeannette over the past half decade or so. One of our good friends here at the Westmoreland Sports Network, Anthony D'Annunzio, most recently Ryan Hayden. Did you have conversations with your predecessors to kind of get a gauge for what to expect? I
haven't yet, but I will. They both congratulated me, obviously, but I'll definitely be picking those guys' brains when I hit a bump in the road or any kind of stumbling block I hit. I'll be definitely reaching out to both of those guys.
What are some of the goals that you have as athletic director?
Well, one thing I just want to maintain, what's going on. I think Ryan did a great job as the AD. I'd like to dig into some more things with, getting the kids some more opportunities with colleges. I know I've helped some kids with basketball, but I'd like to really dig in with the other sports to get them to understand. I mean, college is a great thing, and to go and give it a chance to play the sports that you've been doing well at. I just hope that I could give some kids some opportunities.
There was a report a few weeks ago that this will be the last season for Roy Hall as the football coach, and he, much like you, has had a lot of success for more than a decade. What do you think that stands out about Coach Hall, and if it is his last year, how big of a void will that leave with this program?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a big void. Roy is Jeannette. I mean, when you think about it, his whole career as a player, student, he's as a coach, he's been there at Jeannette. Roy is, one of those guys that doesn't come home very often. He just lives and breathes Jeannette. I said to him the other day, man, you think you want to give one more chance since I'm the new AD? And he started laughing and said, I don't think so. So, he's put in his time. I think he's 30 plus years there as a coach. So, we won't understand how valuable he is until he's gone, because he just means so much, and especially all the kids that play for him. He's been a huge success, 100 plus wins, 2 WPL titles, a state title. He's a few plays this year from winning another state title with a backup quarterback. So that the coaching speaks for itself. But he's always been a great guy. Like he's been since I've been at Jeannette, been like a big brother to me. So it's definitely gonna be something that I'm missing. But we'll cherish all the moments and we'll send him out the right way if this is his last year.
And lastly, you talked about the success even this past year in football. Everyone knows Jeannette is a storied football program. Not many in the entire state or even in the country can really parallel the success, but there's some concern that the roster size is dwindling. So how do you make sure that not only this year but years to come the program remains strong?
Well, it's unfortunate what's happening, but those are things we can't control. We don't know why. It's very sad, But one thing about since I've been in Jeannette, it's been a prideful community. I always said that the kids in Jeannette, they don't just play for the school; they play for the community. So we're going to do our best to keep it going, and the future is really bright with some of the classes coming up. There's some athletes that are still there that love being a Jayhawk, and we're going to get behind them and continue to have success. We may have a down year or two, but we'll be back. It won't be forever that we're down. Even if we are down, who's to say that a lot of those guys? But who to say that Jeannette doesn't make the playoffs this year? No one knows. I mean, we just got to keep competing and working hard every day, and the best will prevail.
Adrian, thank you so much for taking the time to do this once again. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.